in the house.
Austin, Henry's and shit.
Anchorage, I need to hear y'all one more time. Anchorage, I need to hear y'all one more time. What was that?
Oh shit.
Austin, is y'all in the house?
Austin, Henry's and shit.
Last.
All of the things.
Okay, I see you. And last but not least, Washington, D.C., are you in the house?
DCU Slam Chakacoon. Blip blop.
Boom. We is in the house. Make some noise for yourselves, y'all.
Like a motherfucking zoo. Ow.
So the battle will go like this. It will consist of 4 rounds. And the order will go, the person who goes in the first round, the person who goes first will go last in the second round.
When I'm 18, sit me down on the living room couch and ask me, did you know that if you stare into the sun too long, you could go blind? I'll try and concept the deeper meaning behind the obvious question you've asked me and the relevance toward it, becoming more confused with each possible answer, get frustrated like I always do, and finally just say, no. And you'll laugh. Look up at my face, satisfied at the fact I finally learned it's easier not to argue with you. But in my mind, I begin to think of all the more important things you could have asked me my last evening at home. And I'll try to look back at you. My eyes, 2 floors deep with remember and good intentions, with any chance they got, look up at that God, somewhere behind the sun you always talk about, and just get frustrated like I always do, because I just can't seem to do what you ask me to, even when I try. And I begin to think, how come you could have asked me something you didn't already know? Why I feel scared in the dark. Too many times reaching out to grab you and finding someone else. See, love is all the same color in the dark. Many times mistaking theirs for yours. Then learning the hard way that nothing can replace a father's love. Or how about you ask me why? A little girl growing up with Walt Disney as a substitute still can't get the rules right.
Come on, Jake.
Disney, looking down at his little black daughter, saying, I don't make princesses to be, look, or act like you, so you'll have to work 2 times harder to achieve royalty and 5 times harder to get their attention. But remember, he's only a prince if he comes to rescue you. Ask me why I've never been rescued. But gotten real comfortable hitting the ground after every trust fall trial with alcohol and weed smoke too thick to see my shadow. See, there's a certain point where girls are way past the point of saving. Daddy, I know that you wanted to save me after every time I've handed my heart to you, kicked and used. Each time more and more pieces missing, and realizing replacing them with yours was a waste, like pushing circles through triangles, because I just go back out and do the same shit all over again. Ask me why fathers should never hit their daughters. It sends a bad message. That if you're bigger and I can't stop you, then I deserve it.
Go in.
Looking up at you
Fucking
with
poet.
eyes 2 floors deep, too red and blue to recognize you. So when looking up at that God, thrown behind the sun you always talk about, it only makes my eyes as weak as you do. Ask me why I cut my hair without asking you, knowing I'll no longer have myself to hold on to in the dark. It tells you sometimes
Fucking
I'm working
poet.
2 times harder to be your princess and 5 times harder to get your attention. It tells you sometimes be my prince, not to rescue me, but to show me what it looks like, so I know what to look for. So show me
Oh, hey!
no sun to help prove your points. Ask me when I lost the last piece of my mind somewhere at the bottom of a bottle being passed around a room, in my body being passed around a room, no lights, just music and voices, reaching out to grab you and finding someone else, working 3 times harder to be his princess and 7 times harder for him to listen to me or even stand by me, knowing I feel scared in the dark, giving him the last piece of my heart that wasn't kicked or used, way past the point of saving. And this was the only time I wish I could look up at that God, somewhere behind the sun you always talk about, because it's the closest thing I had to myself. And I'd cry, waiting for this day to come when I'm 18. Sit me down on the living room couch and ask me, did you know if you stare into the sun too long, you could go blind? And I'll say no. look up and see your eyes looking back at you and realize that your daughter has finally learned to listen to you and say to me, yes, you can. But remember, appearances can be deceiving, and it's real easy to miss the God behind something. So when you're in the dark or fallen or lonely, just look up and know that that God is always watching. No him or I will ever stop loving our little princess to grow into a queen. And in your 18 years, I've given you my eyes to see where you're going, and my heart with the life of me to feel the difference between love and infidelity, and my hands who already know who to reach out for. Baby, you are my everything. This is for when I didn't show you the way you wanted to, or we didn't look or speak but wanted to, and I want you to know that I love you, and if you ever seem to forget, just look up to that God behind us I'm always telling you about. You'll know.
Word. Go in, poet. Woo! Yeah. He's got a high-ass standard, bro. He's got a high-ass.
Give it up for the Sacrificial.
Hey, damn, no
crew.
wood.
This is Kayla, y'all. Make some noise for her, y'all. Let me say the order for the first round again is Denver, Anchorage, Washington, D.C., and Austin. Man, what's up with them scores? She's doing a couple of seconds trying to put the scores together. So how's everybody doing, y'all?
Swell!
That's beautiful, that's beautiful. I already introduced myself. I'll introduce myself again. My name is Juvi. I'll be your MC for today. And I hope y'all living in love and hope y'all enjoying the festival because y'all looking very good today.
Yeah.
What's up, man, with them scores?
All right. So from low to high, we got a 9.0, we got a 9.3, we got a 9.3, we got a 9.4, and a 9.6. Give it
Let's go.
That's what's up. We give it up for the poet. We Bout the judges, y'all.